Hello, and this was not as fun as covering the last few games. Welcome back to Belmont Bunch. The Islanders' point streak is over. So the Isles play an interesting game, a frustrating game against Pittsburgh. They lose their first game of regulation in a while. Let's get into it. So first period, good jump for the Isles. Creating some chances. They were skating well. Yeah, that wouldn't stick around. But so first period isn't bad. Brock Nelson is the culprit on a bad giveaway that creates Crosby's tip in, where Varley has no shot at that. Varley played a good game tonight. He had a huge penalty kill in the second period, but we'll get to that. So Crosby made it 1-0 there. The Isles, chances, they're getting pucks on net in the first period, but really can't create something that's extremely dangerous. And into the second period, they would have a couple power plays that would get the momentum going a little bit. It's tough. It's one of those games where I think, maybe we were still playing like we were playing Buffalo, where it's like, hey, if we just get a couple of quick ones, we can just see it out from there. But that first period jump that we had in this game didn't translate into goal, and thus we weren't in the same position as we were in the Buffalo games, where we had that good jump in the first, and then we were able to kind of sit back a little bit, even though you don't want them to. At least in that second game. The first game, it was less pronounced, but the second game, kind of a park the bus type game in the second and third. The Isles can't do that against teams that are better than Buffalo, so that is to say every other team in the league at the moment, outside of like Ottawa, although we don't play Ottawa, so it doesn't matter. Crosby gets his, Blueger gets one in the second, and it's a frustrating one because Brock Nelson on the opposite side, just before that, gets a chance in front, doesn't get a shot off. Puck was bouncing. I'm not going to get on Brock's back for this one. I've already got on his back for another thing. So there will be plenty of stuff for me to get on Brock's back for right now. But Blueger makes it 2-0, and that didn't feel like the game was over, but it felt pretty debilitating, especially right after you get a chance. And then they cash in on the other end, and it's another one where Varley can't really do much because it's a weird bounce. And the Isles also didn't cover the backside of the goal. So 2-0 there. Great 5-on-3 kill for the Isles, but it didn't generate a lot of momentum. Maybe it took something out of them. They looked tired after that. They lost every puck battle after that, basically. They were losing all the races. And third period, Isles started off on a penalty kill. They get a big chance, and Clutterbuck has to cash in on this. He hits the bar. Clutterbuck used to provide some offense on the fourth line. It is rough. This has to be scored. It's a 2-on-1. All you have to do is lift it over the pads. I know that I'm oversimplifying, but that has to go in. And once that doesn't go in, I think Islander fans start to go like, it's one of those. It's one of those games. Even when they do create chances, they're just not going. And Pittsburgh would get a third. Kiefer Bellows ensuring that he won't play in the next game and probably gets sent to either the taxi squad or the minors. Misses his man, and Jason Zucker cashes one in. Another one where Varley had no chance. So Varley was fine tonight. He was pretty good. Empty netter. Well, first the Islanders score on a power play. It's a well-worked power play, and Nelson cashes in front. Bailey's waking up. Nelson, it's another tap-in, so it's hard to say he's waking up now. Because it doesn't really look like that's the case when he was the culprit for the first goal. And generally, I haven't seen his shot this year. Brock Nelson has an excellent shot, and all of his goals are tap-ins. So maybe that's a matter. He's not putting himself in the position to unleash that wrister as much. That's worrisome. Hopefully he gets to that. His net front presence is improved, I guess, but his defensive game and his shooting game, not great. I would prefer those to improve rather than his net front presence. We have a guy for that. His name is Anders Lee. So empty netter from Rust, unselfish play by Zucker, and the Penguins were just a better team tonight. After the midway point of the second, the Isles didn't have enough. Now the good thing is some extracurricular stuff at the end of the game. Anders Lee with a high hit on Matheson in response to a hit on Barzal by Matheson that they didn't like. Matheson has a history with the Islanders after he hit Johnny Boychuk last year in the playoffs up high. So at least that can, at least you leave this game with, like, if you're an Islander, hopefully, like, that was frustrating. That lights a fire under me. Now I'm going to go obliterate Buffalo, and then we'll see Pittsburgh again on Saturday and see how that goes. But, yeah, tough one. For now, I treat it a little bit like a one-off because, it's one game, and they've played generally very well this month. But it is probably still clear that the goal scoring against non-Buffalo teams still needs to improve. And we'll see. I think I talked with James Duffy the other day, and I'm pretty sure Eichel's going to be an Islander now. We'll see. That would be great. But, yeah, scoring's still an issue, and hopefully that gets rectified somewhere in the future. And I don't think it's going to be internally at the moment based on, I don't really see a guy right now. They signed a bunch of depth guys over the summer, and none of them are really scorers. So that's probably going to have to come at the deadline, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Islanders lose. We will see you again whenever the next game is. I don't have the schedule set in stone in my head. It's been all over the place, my head, and also the schedule because of cancellations. Anyway, I'm going to end the video there because I've lost all sense of what I'm talking about. So that's it. Goodbye.